The Specna Arms Rock River Arms SA E18 M4 machine pistol. I love it. Let's take a close look at it. So inside the box, guys, we get a whole bunch of silica gel. We get a little card for the XASR MOSFET that tells us that different light combinations and what the problem is and what to do about it. We got a quality certificate, and according to the quality certificate, it shoots about 350 FPS. We got the manual. We got stickers. We got the RIF itself, but we also got the PEQ box that holds the battery for the pistol. We got a magazine. We got a front grip, and check this out, man. This has got to be the smallest dejamming rod I have ever seen in my life. Hiding inside the box was a second magazine, and check this out, an M90 spring. Fortunately, this thing has a quick change spring on it. I'll show you how to do that so we can install this M90 and we'll do the FPS on both the spring that's in it and the M90. So in addition to this Edge E18, I also have two other Specna rifles. I have an E15 here that I've converted to HPA that I use for a DMR, and right here I have an E12 that I converted to HPA that I use as a CQB gun. And if you look really closely at the E12, you'll notice that it's the basic same gun, but the E18 does not have a stock and it only has about a 4-inch barrel on it. So you guys can see how small this gun is. I mean, look at my hand. There isn't enough room inside the body of the rifle for the battery. So here's the external battery plug, and here is the MOSFET right on the outside. And the battery fits inside this PEQ box. They recommend a 7.4 volt battery, and I have one. So let me put this thing together and let's do an FPS on it. Installing this battery inside this PEQ box is a huge pain in the ass. There's 3 screws right here on the back of the PEQ box. You can see them sticking out. Unfortunately, I'm actually missing one of the screws. I chose a pretty long 7.4 volt battery, and it barely fits inside the PEQ box. I don't recommend one of those little small ones because I don't think it has the amperage to run this thing. But as a result, what's going to happen is my wires are going to be sticking way out of this thing. Not really sure what I'm going to do yet. Maybe a little black electrical tape. So after about 10 minutes, I finally got the battery installed in this. Kind of a pain in the butt, and now I got these big ass wires sticking out from behind it. I'm not really sure what to do with yet. There's room here on the other side of the PEQ box. I might just drill a hole right through here and just jam everything on the inside. Don't know yet, but here's safe, it works. Semi, and here is full auto. Not too bad, not too bad. Another feature this thing has, it has the pop-out front and rear sights, which I think is pretty decent for a little machine pistol. It has Picatinny rails up top, and it has little small Picatinny rails on the right side, the bottom, and the left side. Of course, 2 Picatinny rails are going to be used up for the handle here and 1 for the PEQ box. But right now I have the stock spring that came with it. So let's go ahead and check the FPS on this. So I got my safety glasses on, got my chrono here, got the pistol all lined up and ready to go. Let's see what the FPS is with .20s with the stock spring. All right, I got 357.4, 348.3, 364.1, 363.3, and that's actually 1.23 joules. We have 348.8, 1.13 joules, 351.3, 1.15 joules, and 1.16 joules, 353.1. Now, let me show you how to replace this spring in here, and we'll check it with the M90 spring. All right, first thing we got to do when we're working on the spring here, we have to unhook the battery and we have to pull the magazine out. On the back of this, there is a hex nut. Just remove it with a hex wrench. Now there's a small round piece inside the gun, and unfortunately, the hex wrench that takes the cap off of the pistol doesn't fit to take this off. But there's some little detents in there, and I'll show you that here in just a little second. You just push this in and you slowly turn it, and it will pop out. Be careful, because this thing is spring loaded and you don't want this spring to fly out. And all you have to do is just pull out this spring. Now if you look really closely at the spring guide here, you'll see some little bitty tabs on the end. Inside the gun are some little holes. So what you want to do is you want to thread this back in and then push it as hard as you can and then turn it so that these holes, or excuse me, so that these tabs no longer made up with the holes, so it keeps the spring inside the gun. So here's the new spring. We insert it in the hole, and then we take the spring keeper and insert it inside the spring. Now, take your hex wrench, push it in, and this might be just a little difficult for some people, and you want to turn it slightly so that those tabs no longer made it with the holes, and it keeps the spring inside your gun. It's really, really easy. So the next step is just to take this cap and screw it back on. I replaced the spring with the M90 spring. Let's go ahead and see the FPS and joules on this. Looks like we got 302.6 FPS and 0.85 joules. 301 FPS, 0.84 joules. 302.2, 0.85 joules. 294.1 and 0.8 joules. Not bad. The hop-up chamber is accessed by holding back the charging handle here. The dust cover pops open, and inside here you'll see a little blue rotary that you can access to change your hop-up. Letting go of the charging handle covers up the hop-up adjustment, and then all you have to do is just put the dust cover back on. I'm supposed to play Airsoft at 12th Street tomorrow, and I was going to snipe, but I think I'm going to bring this little guy out here with the M90 spring, make it a CQB. Let's see how close I can get to people in my ghillie suit and use this little rifle. While I'm out there, I'm also going to range it with the M90 spring in it, so be looking for that. So thanks for watching, my dudes. I have another video right here you can watch if you're interested. You guys have a good one. Shreq out.